Welcome, everyone. My name is Joe Esbrook with Hiawatha Log Homes. And I remember when your company went into Wallace, and at the time we were running the cable company, and there was a company coming to Wallace, Michigan that wanted over 30 megabit download speeds. And I think we ended up putting an ME3400 in there, which has capability of reaching gigabit speeds. And I'm sure you're well past the 30 megabits now and well into the gigabit speed. So thank you. So one of the ways that we are able to present all these excellent companies is through nominations. And so, on behalf of the board, we'd like to thank everybody who nominates businesses all the way from the copper country that has companies that make parts for the space shuttle, all the way to world-class companies in Menominee that make helicopters that are shipped nationally, internationally. Without your nominations, we're not able to present these companies. And, every year we think, man, we just nailed it out of the park again. How are we going to get a few more businesses for next year? And John Marshall will calm us down and say, don't worry, the nominations will come in. And sure enough, they do. And sometimes they come in by the same person 2 years in a row, like this year with Kathy Reynolds. Kathy, if you remember, nominated Pictured Rocks, and John Madigan, I know, is here. And if you ever wonder what they do with their awards, sometimes you think they lock them behind glass at the corporate vault or whatever. I had the pleasure of going to John's house this summer, and his award was sitting right there in front of everybody to see in his house. So congratulations. Our next award recipient is from Munising. It's a company called Neenah Paper. You remember the old Kimberly-Clark and the paper mill. And, we're proud to have them back again this year. They were here last year for a talk that David Schultz gave us. David Schultz, the mill manager. I don't want to steal his thunder because I know he has some folks from his team here, and he's going to come up and tell us a little bit more, probably in depth about Neenah Paper and all the cool things they're doing. So, David Schultz.
Well, first of all, thank you to Kathy Reynolds for the nomination, and thank you to Operation Action UP for the award. I just wanted to start out with introducing the folks that joined me today here. If you could just stand up for a second when I say your name. Brian Houghton is our operations manager. Erica Anderson is our material handling manager. Mark Arrieri is our financial manager, and Kathy Hill is our human resources manager. So they're a big part of, making the mill successful. There were 3 managers that couldn't be with us. I will. It was Mike Felker, our technical director, Kurt Lindstrom, our engineering manager, and Todd Swenson, our quality manager, couldn't be with us today. But so let's see. I got to figure this out real quick. So yeah, like Joe mentioned, I was here last year, so I thought, well, rather than repeat the same things, I thought I'd have a couple other people talk along with myself. And in case you don't believe me that I talked last year, there I am. This is not a touched up photo. That was actually me. So right out of the gate, we're going to try to move fast. Mark Arrieri is going to come up and talk about Neenah Paper. I'll talk a little bit about Munising Mill again without trying to be redundant from last year a whole lot. And then Kathy's going to talk from a human resources perspective. And then we have about a 3-minute video to show at the end. So, Mark.
This guy. So Dave asked that I swing by because I'm kind of the corporate guy. Probably supposed to be in Atlanta, but you're going to find out I'm more of a homer for Munising. And the blue tie is not the Lions. From Neenah, right? Yeah, I'm from Neenah. The blue tie is not the Lions. It's not a Democratic statement. It's just Neenah Blue. So just to take you back real quick, I got a couple of minutes. We were part of Kimberly-Clark. You've heard of Kimberly-Clark, Huggies, Kleenex, 66,000 employees worldwide. Huge. Every country you can think of. So the leadership at Kimberly-Clark turned over, and they decided we're going to divest the pulp and paper businesses. Munising, Michigan, pulp and paper business, kind of a skunk works. So about 12 years ago now, we went from 66,000 employees in every country in the world to about 1,500 employees, and Munising became a mighty big fish in the pond on that day. But a huge change for us, because we were part of this mothership, huge mothership, and now we get noticed a lot. We're a part of Kimberly-Clark, pretty small entity. So we had our mill in Munising, a couple of mills in Wisconsin making fine paper that you write on, and then 2 pulp mills. All right, so I'm going to take it real quick, but a lot of things happened in these last 12 years. So now the picture looks completely different. And it looks different because Munising is absolutely still there, major part of the corporation. But we sold the pulp mills instantaneously. Not that pulp's a horrible business. It's just a commodity, and the New York Stock Exchange does not like variability. They hate variability. They'll punish you on the stock price. We bought our competitor in Germany. We bought a competitor on the East Coast. And we bought multiple fine paper competitors and subsequently did the M&A thing many, many times and kind of changed our strategy somewhat, with Munising still being a big part, and change the dynamics from 20 people or 30 people or 6 people, a couple thousand people in the company, $1 billion in sales, $1.5 billion in market cap. Just a significant transformation over the last 12 years, and an economic engine in Elgin County. I am sure of that, with the payroll and the services we provide to every country in the world but Russia and some of the countries in Africa. But other than that, you pick a country, we're probably shipping paper there. And so, I just talked about that, but that's kind of what we do. 2 big parts of the company, the technical products part, performance materials, and then the fine paper and packaging. You will all read and have read about paper and mills closing and just a kind of a downer story. You're not going to see that with Munising or performance materials. Just to let you know, did we do okay? You can read that for yourself. That's the stock price performance. If you would have bought it in 08, $4, $82 the other day, 20x your earnings. I think it would have probably done okay if you would have bought it.
Exactly. Oh, if only we had known. Up and to the right. So a little bit about Munising Mill, just to jog your memories if you're here last year. We've been in business for 115 years. This is a picture of the front of the mill, but definitely isn't all of the mill. So the mill was founded in 1902 primarily by Cleveland Cliffs, and it was owned by Cleveland Cliffs for quite a few years. I think it changed hands one other time, but prior to being sold to Kimberly-Clark in 1952. And in 1952, that's really when what we do today came into being, which is to use latex in our sheet for both saturating into the sheet and coating the sheet to give it durability and other properties. So really it was at that point in time when Kimberly-Clark took over that we started getting into latex saturation. And I'm thinking advanced blending solutions, we may have something we can work with on it, because we do a lot of blending of different lattices and other raw materials to make the products that we make. This is the mill today, an aerial photo. The property is about 65 acres, and we have about 350,000 square feet under roof. Some of the buildings are multiple stories. We have 2 124-inch wide paper machines, 2 offline coaters, 2 offline saturators. We have R&D facility on site. Last year, a year and a half ago, we spent $1.5 million expanding our R&D facility. And we have about 13 scientists that are full-time on new product development. We also notably burn coal. If you've ever been in Munising, you'll see the coal pile. Because of that, we had to spend $2.5 million on a scrubber within the last 2 years to comply with Boiler MAC regulations. And we also have a wastewater treatment plant to return the water back to Lake Superior the way that it was received. The products we make, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this on the interest of time, and the video covers some of these, but pre-mask, medical packaging, abrasives, decorative components, clean room, wash tag. Okay, that's the jeans label on the back of a pair of Levi's, right? That's one people recognize. Release liners, tape, most notably for most people is frog tape. You can buy it at Home Depot. We make the backing paper for frog tape. Furniture, which is used in the veneer industry, it's actually a adhesive coated paper that is used to adhere the veneer to a substrate material. Labels, which is a very, a growth area for us. We're seeing a lot more activity in label and heat transfer. A very interesting product. That's where you print the image on a sheet of paper, and you can transfer that image to a T-shirt or a jacket or a coffee cup, and I don't know what else they can transfer it to these days, but just about anything, I think. So with these products, and Mark will shoot me, but our sales are close to $160 million a year, which puts us definitely, I don't know if Mark used these words, but we truly are, Munising truly is the lead sled dog when it comes to the business called Performance Materials. So we're about 60% of the sales, but we are 75% of the profit. So definitely in a strong position in the performance business and in Neenah paper. So I think we can continue to see good things out of Munising. A sign of that is, we all like up and to the right? Like the stock price. And I know John showed a nice graph on the Picture Rock cruises up and to the right. Everybody likes up and to the right. This is our paper machine operating hours. And you can see a nice climb beginning in 2013 and really over the last 4 years. And we expect it to continue. In 2017, over 8,000 hours of operation, so that's about 344 days of operation. So it continues to climb, and that's 24/7. So we're running around the clock every day of the week, and so the mill is just doing very well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy.
Well, I get to tell you guys a little bit about the people at the Munising Mill. We currently employ 265, so just to put that number in perspective for you, if we look at the entire population of Munising, we would employ about 11% of our whole town. We run the mill on a 24/7 basis, 3 crews, so they're staffed around the clock. The crew works a week of midnight shift, they rotate to a week of afternoon shift, they rotate to a week of days, and then so on. That's how it's staffed. 39% of our employees are age 55 or older. So on a positive side of that comment, we can say we have a lot of long service employees. They know their machines, they know their grades of paper that they run. On the challenging side of that comment, we have 39% of our employees who could leave at any given time. So we not only want to stay on top of that, the best place to be is to try and stay ahead of that a little bit so we can be prepared. Because of the age of our workforce, we are experiencing high attrition rates. We've been in that cycle for a couple of years, and we expect that to continue for about 2 to 3 more years. The average employee retires from the Munising Mill at the age of 59, which I think says a lot about our company, the pay that we provide, the benefits that we provide our people. To even consider retiring at 59 is a good thing. For example, our payroll last year in 2016 for the Munising Mill alone exceeded $20 million in payroll and benefits. I'm going to figure this out. So this is a snapshot of our 5-year hiring. You can see back again, up and to the right, we follow the same trend here. You can see back in 2011, it was pretty much non-existent versus last year where we hired 30 new people. So in that 5-year span, we're averaging about 20 new people a year. If we look to the previous 5 years, we had 3 new people a year. So that's a significant change for us. And we can account that to the attrition rates and the staffing for the increased production that Dave was showing you earlier. The main challenge that we face with this level of new people coming into the mill at such a quick rate is not only do they have to learn their jobs and learn them pretty quickly, we have to make sure they do them safely. We want them to go home just the way they came in that day. We have to maintain the quality that our customers have come to expect from us, and we have to maintain the cost of manufacture to the business. So that's a lot to juggle on a good day, and it's really a lot to juggle when there's a lot of new people. So the number one initiative that we do to manage that is to, of course, do on-the-job training. That's an effort that Erica Anderson heads up at the mill. Again, up and to the right, it looks pretty much like the last line graph I just showed you. We thought we were spending a lot back in 2011 when it was $150,000 a year, but we blew that away last year, spending in excess of $541,000 in training. So we averaged $45,000 a month in our training program. So this transition with the attrition that we're going through comes at a very hefty price tag to the business, and we do expect that to continue for the next 2 to 3 years and stay at that high level while we see the attrition rate stay high.
So real quickly, some key takeaways before we show the video. You know, clearly Neenah Paper is a successful company with a growing and attractive shareholder returns. So in other words, AKA buy Neenah Paper stock. The Munising Mill has a strong heritage of innovation and success since 1902. Munising is the lead sled dog for performance materials, and the UP plays an important role in that success. So now we will attempt to play a video.
If you don't know us, you may think we just make paper. But our customers know better. They know we solve problems. As the global leader in designing and delivering polymer-reinforced papers, we know that the best high-performance paper begins by using the best raw materials, fibers, polymers, and other additives. With dozens of research experts at our facilities across the globe, we innovate with natural and synthetic fibers, hard and soft polymers, and other unique chemistries to design solutions for delivering consistent performance, whatever that means to our customers, from strength to chemical and heat stability, to overall beauty and all combinations in between. Our equipment is fine-tuned to allow vast differences in weights and structure, colors and textures, whether we impart that in the base, through the polymer impregnation or surface treatments. The result is serving more than a dozen distinctly different markets with an extensive and diverse product portfolio of performance materials, each made with one common goal: to improve the image and performance of everything we touch. Our manufacturing and sales offices around the world ensure security of supply. We have redundant technologies and capabilities that translate to peace of mind for our customers, regardless of their market. Abrasives, digital print customization, medical packaging, performance label, pre-mask, publishing, security, tape, veneer backers, and other industrial categories. In Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the Munising Mill is deeply rooted in an ecosystem of diverse wildlife, breathtaking landscapes, and one of the world's deepest freshwater lakes. We also manufacture in Brownville and Lowville, New York, and Quakertown, Pennsylvania in the U.S., as well as in Brookmule, Germany, and Bolton, England. Across the globe, we take great care in managing all aspects of our business, so to protect the environment and benefit the communities around us. Neenah cares deeply about the safety of our employees and customers and invests regularly in programs and processes that put people first. We want everyone to go home at the end of their day feeling as good as when they came to work and knowing that they are the company's best asset. Contact us to learn more about how our team at Neenah Performance Materials can develop a custom-engineered product to satisfy your most demanding problem.